All right. Wow. Beautiful trailer. Hello, everyone. Welcome to OPNoobs.com, PC Gaming by PC Gamers. Today we're doing one of our developer talks, and we get to talk about Warrior's Pilgrimage. This is a game that is really more of a art experience at the moment than a game, but it's still one of the most stunningly beautiful things we've seen on any of our dev talks. And today we have with us Audrey Wong, as well as Arif. Sorry, is it Prodby? Did I get that right?
Hmm?
Oh, all right, good. Glad I got the name right. Okay. So thanks to both of you for being with us today.
All right, thank
Thank
you for
you.
having us.
Just before we launch into the game, just give us a little brief background on where you guys are from and what you're up to right now. In other words, how you got involved. Audrey, let's start with you.
I'm from Malaysia, so yeah, so I'm actually a.
I said that's a very long way from where we are.
Yes, definitely. It's a really long way. So I'm actually I worked as a 3D artist before in Codemasters and Streamline Studios for 5 years of experience. I work in visual effects company as well, Rhythm and Hues. So yeah.
Very nice, very nice. And are you currently in Malaysia right now? Or where are you living now?
I'm still in the UK.
Still in the UK. All right, very cool, excellent. And how about you, Arif?
Well, thank you for having me. And my name is Arif Pribadi, and I've been in. I'm also in UK, but will be going back to Indonesia pretty soon. And I've been working in industry as well as like 6 years and 8 months in Gamelove, Montreal, which is doing pretty much a lot of AAA mobile games. But yeah, the reason we get like this kind of demo after because we attending like University of Hampshire,
Mm.
so trying to develop like completely new stuff to get like to just upgrade the portfolio. Well, most people think about it, this is not a real game. This is just a
Right,
art
right.
demo.
No, well, I mean it's absolutely beautiful. It's very obviously very eye-catching. And it's something when you first look at it you really want it to become a game. That's for sure because it looks like at the beginnings of something excellent in the making. And so I know you largely built this yourselves, right? It was just the two of you, am I correct?
Yes,
Right?
yes, it's just the two of us.
So and did you? It looks like I was following on the forums a little bit. You each talk on the forums about different parts you worked on. It sounds like that you split the duties fairly evenly. Do you want to talk a little bit about what each of you individually worked on? Starting with you, Arif.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is like kind of the project that I really want to do since the beginning because, because we attending like University of Hampshire to get like just to get a degree, so we can at least to move around the countries easy. But I really want to experiment new stuff, like what we can do within like only two people team. Uh, so we're trying to be as efficient as possible, and we make like a playable demo, not just for personal. Oh, this is I'm just going to make like another personal art modeling reel. No, it's not like that. I want to try something like worth a risk, which is making the art demo that look like a game.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that even you can even play it. So that's why I'm luckily having partnered with Audrey Wong, where she is doing like a lot of modeling stuff as well. So yeah, with my experience, I've been like working in as a lead environment artist. So I think at least roughly I know how to split the work, but doing it with Unreal Engine, of course, is new, and doing with make it playable is completely new stuff for me, completely new experience. But that's okay. It's worth the risk.
Right.
So
Well, like you said, you're working on this for university partly. So I imagine that it was a very good learning process for you. These are all, especially working in Unreal Engine 4, it's a professional tool. I imagine there's a lot of companies that are looking for that kind of skill.
yes, well, nowadays there's some companies do want to do it with straight in 3D programs, but some other company want to do it like with Unreal Engine, CryEngine, Unity, you call it. Well, a lot of high-end company now is using Unreal. For me, it's personally using Unreal is because unlike other engines, I'm an artist, so there's a feature called Blueprint where actually when you want to design a game, you don't really have to get into like coding and programming in order to get the game works at least.
I see. So you spend a lot of time on the art and making sure that I should say building the world that you're in. And rather than, I guess, having to worry about programming things like enemies and AI and different stuff like that, you were able to just focus largely on the world itself.
Yeah, true. Well, the only problem with now is like, for example, even that you don't want to put enemies or AI or anything, even just to make the game work from start to finish, just to have that kind of walkthrough. If the platform itself doesn't have like a blueprint like Unreal that facilitates, you don't even need to program it.
Right.
But in other engines, you need to program and doing it stuff. It doesn't make things much easier, but it really helpful to have like visual programming like Blueprint.
Right. So it sounds like it's basically pre-programmed that it kind of like puts a menu, makes a menu easy and it allows you to load a simple character model into the world. At least that's from what I saw. You were able to use the character model, and the character model actually looked pretty good, I had to say. And the animation was smooth. And when you fall down, there was a falling animation that also looked very realistic, I thought.
Well, there's not actually falling animation. It's just it's just doing a default fall, but there's the most feature that I work on is just walking and running, because there's actually jump actually, but I just completely remove it because it looked weird.
That's funny. So, I remember trying to jump a few times because I wanted to hop.
Yeah, it's like I removed the jump feature. Sorry, like
that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, I just trying to minimize the feature.
Yeah, that people don't jump anywhere.
Yeah, and it's kind of invisible walls. I can say, like of course the running itself is actually mocap. Walking also mocap, except when it's just standing.
Is motion capture, you said, for that?
Yeah, it's motion capture.
Oh, wow.
You can download it free on the internet from
Gotcha. Oh, wow, that's very cool.
The problem is, otherwise, mocap, so I don't need to think about animation because I'm not an animator.
Right.
Apparently, it's not the case. I have to clean up a lot of stuff in animation.
No, I understand. I understand.
A lot of clean up stuff.
Well, I mean, even still, I think it really speaks to the power of the tools that we have these days that, artists can really focus on what they do best rather than worrying about, things like, hiring a motion capture team and making sure your motion capture look good. I think it's great that tools are available for you to help piece together the other parts of a project that you would otherwise not be able to, put together. Audrey, I'd love for you to talk also a little bit about what you worked on specifically in this demo.
Well, for this game, like Arif said, we try to challenge ourselves more, see how far we could push ourselves based on technically and aesthetically. So both of us, we came from like different backgrounds and different level of experience. So we have different ways of working, different ways of handling tasks. So we try to incorporate that and to do what we does best. So like Arif is more like technical side and I'm more of the modeling side. So I handle most on the hero projects, the hero assets and stuff, texturing and the final polish, those kind of stuff. So Arif is more like the technical side. He handles the blueprint, the lighting, what else? Animation, mocap, and most of the technical side.
Got you. Well, yeah, and I saw that on one of the forums that I'd clicked through, at least that was on a link that I'd found, I think, through your website, Arif. You had done some concept art as well for this game.
Well, yeah, it's since we don't have concept artists, so we have to do like I just need to do technically. Well, you can say I'm generalist. in this project, even that mostly I'm working as environment artist in professional work, but in this project, I have to wear different hats as an artist, as technical, as whatever it is, as long as the project finishes. Hello.
Looks like the
sorry.
cameras went down for some reason.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Okay.
Sorry about that, folks. Cameras will come back in a moment. This is, all the joys of doing cross seas webcamming. All right. Well, good. Well, looks like we're back here. So yeah, I was impressed at the amount of research that had gone into the design of the environments. Because when I was looking through this, the link, and I just dropped the link in Twitch chat now, I saw that you guys had pulled together not just inspiring artwork from other, fantasy artworks. It looks like you had a clip here from The Witcher as a piece of inspiration, and some two, fantasy paintings. I'll put those in there as well. There we are. But it looked like you'd also gone around and taken images from the real world. Do you mind, I'm not sure which one of you guys did that, but do you mind just explaining to me the process of how you select, the images that inspire you to make the game and how that whole process works?
Well, first of all, like we came up with an idea, like sort of we want to make this sort of like ancient Asian type of culture scene environment. So from that, we gather resources from ancient culture designs, but Indonesians designs and like Machu Picchu, those kind of stuff, like Mayan design. Try to incorporate that and see what we can make out of. So after that, we do the concept, everything. Then after the concept, we try to do a block out of the entire environment to see how it looks, how it works. So after that, from there, then we just plan even more. Each asset, we sort of separate it out to see what assets to build and what assets not to build. So from there, we just sort of like planning and finding more reference for the assets that fits the ideal environment that we want. So
yeah, quick thing, like the inspiration is pretty much, we don't want, since this is a fantasy style genre, I'm just doing it that kind of concept in purpose, because if we tie it too much in, like we say, oh, this is like based on the Indian culture, or this is, well, people will start to point out, oh, that doesn't look like accurate. So
right,
it's being fantasy is always good, because you can have a lot of freedoms while you can still gather some reference from that.
No, that makes sense. And I did like the mixture of things. I could see Machu Picchu here, and then it looks like things from various Asian cultures, and maybe a little bit borrowing from an Egyptian culture. It's cool, and I think it was really interesting. I've never had the experience of playing a game that, what a demo like yours that does, involve things that hint at sort of ancient cultures. It kind of reminded me of like the Tomb Raider games, where it sort of made up an ancient culture, but it was based on some real ancient cultures, and it really was very atmospheric. But with your game, I then jumped onto your website and I immediately saw links of the pictures and places that directly inspired, and you even do some very cool breakdowns further on. Again, I've shared this link in the Twitch chat. Further on, where you show very specifically where you got different elements from, and I just thought that was very cool. I think that it's not often that a developer would share that much, that much detail with people. Maybe some would. So one of the things that led me to believe is that you might also be using this as a teaching tool. I saw that lots of people are asking you questions and trying to figure out how you did this, and one person even thanked you online for providing all the ideas they needed for their own level design. So I was wondering, is this something that you designed to be a teaching tool, or was that just kind of a happy coincidence?
Oh, well, not really. It's like I just want to show off that. Well, usually especially when you apply to a company and they want breakdowns, this is actually a tool for your own exposure as an artist. Like, you're capable to do like this many stuff in this short amount of time. It it definitely will attract some people who want to employ you or people want to invest to your project. It's pretty much what I have learned quite a lot when my friend also doing the same thing. He's doing well because of that, because he got so much exposure. But it's you will be surprised even that with that much amount of teaching actually is only fraction amount of what you actually learn in actual development.
Right, I'm sure. I still thought it was fascinating. I felt like it was a little bit like seeing a cross section of a big machine. I got to see just a little slice of how you did it.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to put everything what we knew there. That's why it's even that you see a lot of stuff there, but it's actually only small fraction of what we have to do in order to get that project finished.
No, I'm sure that's true. Well, it's interesting. It's kind of like you said that corporations like to see how you did it, and that you can do it quickly. I feel like it's kind of like just showing your work. When you're doing a math problem, you're showing people how you got to your conclusion. How long did it take you to actually finish this project from beginning to end?
I think it's around duration around 6 to 7 months from scratch, basically from concept to the finish. 6 to 7 months.
Okay, like the first 3 months is the most essential one, where I start doing a concept and Audrey is joining, and while we're doing the concept, I asked her to get like pitching art where it's not going to be final, it's 3D, but it's going to be scrap, but we're trying over and over and pitching it over and over and see which one looks best. And based on that for example, you see as like a picture of a house, like only one house, but make it looks really good. And we use that as an examples. Oh, let's get this quality for another house. So that's why after that we do a blocking out, which is block mesh. People tend to underestimate, oh, it looks grayscale and looks so blocky, and then why you spend this one like 1 month. Actually, that's matter, because when it determines your gameplay feels and the overall environment composition. That's why you want to get it so big, but you have to know that which assets, using the same assets. I mean, with this house, how we can repeat this one with, but doesn't look too even. That's why even though the environment looks so big, actually there's a lot of repeating assets.
Yeah, we try to reuse as much as we can from each of the assets that we built. Like let's say if we made a structure, a temple, so we try to make like a few chunks of bricks and walls and stuff so that we can use it in other areas, so that it saves time and saves UV space. So basically, yeah. So actually the trees is just like, a couple, like 2 or 3 trees.
Oh, interesting.
Just like duplicate everywhere.
But you could, I imagine you rotate them and you tilt them and you do.
You tilt them and then those kind of stuff. But then what makes it unique is that we did a lot of blending in Unreal Engine. So that makes it more unique, like the moss blending, dirt, this kind of stuff, to make it more uniquely so that it doesn't look repetitive. So most of the stuff are actually pretty much duplicate.
This is coming from a non-technical person here, but I was reading a little bit about how you have 2 normal maps, a normal map on top of another, and I didn't know if maybe that led to what you're talking about. Does that lead to some of the differentiation of the different objects, or am I just completely off base?
Yeah. We don't use it in our object, but we do use it for like cliff, for example. The cliff, you wouldn't have enough texture for like such a large cliff, but we have to use multiple normal map or multiple texture in one assets, like large assets like a cliff, like that. So at least even that you rotate it. Also, I make like spatial shaders for, like, for example, rocks. So if you rotate, depending on regardless of the direction, there will be always a moss, like lusty or green stuff on the top of the rocks, from no matter how your rock direction is. So that's
Gotcha.
kind of one way to hide the repetitions.
I mean,
You
there are some moments where you're looking at the screen where it's very, very stunning. I mean, you particularly, and you've also got some excellent screenshots where when you look at certain things at certain angles, it has a moment where if you look quickly, it's got a photorealistic feel to it. It reminds me of I was playing I own Battlefront, which is obviously another very high fidelity game. And there are some folks who have done some tricks to it to make it look very photorealistic. And your demo was reminding me of those moments because you've done some excellent. It looks to be like camera filters that you've placed on top of everything. And I'm not sure if that's an Unreal Engine trick or if that's like a cool. I'm not sure which one of you put that in, but there's like a camera filter over that gives an interesting kind of film quality to it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about the depth of field you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's the depth of field, and also, but when you're looking at everything, there's like some
there's
you're looking through.
It's called dirt lens, where you're looking. It only appears when you're looking at the really bright sun.
Yeah. I found that it had a great effect and added very realistic.
Yeah, it's a simple effect, but actually adds more like atmosphere from outside because your camera gets dirty on the time. First, you always see it in several games such as Battlefield or Tomb Raider. You can see that thing also as well.
No, it was good attention to detail, I thought, and it looks excellent. And Audrey, so you're saying that you worked on the foliage models then for this demo?
The foliage model was mostly done by Arif, but I handle most of the assets, especially in the village area, the props, the structures, and the temple gate, the elephant sculptures, the caves, the cave statues, those kind of stuff. I handle most of the hero props.
Okay, gotcha.
Project.
Yeah, well, if you're looking at there's only one page breakdown, so it explains a lot of stuff. What I did and what she did. Like sometimes we have to switch roles. For example, when she was busy doing statues inside the cave, so I have to build the entire, the temple before you enter the cave. There's that was really painful to build.
Beautiful, by the way. It looks stunning. I mean, really, from beginning to end, the whole thing looks stunning. But I mean, the exit out of the village and into there is just unbelievable. The walkway, particularly, and I hope everyone's paying attention because you can play this demo yourself and run it on your own computer. That walkway up where there's looks like lanterns that aren't lit, kind of going up the side. Unbelievable, and there's foliage on the left and the right. The whole thing looks so beautiful. The village, by the way, is also stunning. Not to forget the village either. And the cliffs also. I just feel like I should mention everything. Even the cliffs look excellent. So yeah, just wanted to give a full round of compliments on all your work. And so everyone out there knows, I've played a lot of games. This game does look as good as some of the best looking games I have ever played. So that should be stated. To the folks who are looking at this to try to hire these two. Consider that.
Thank you.
But sorry, so to move forward then, you were saying that you had to construct the exterior of the cave differently than the interior, but you were using some of the same props in both. Is that what I understood?
Yes. Most of the pillars and the stuff and the rocks on the side inside the caves are actually reused from the outer exteriors from the environment. So we try to reuse as much as possible, but then change the textures, so that we don't need to remodel again.
Yeah, well, since both of us can models both in low poly and high poly, so it's a matter of in the beginning of modeling, people said, "Oh, how do you model that ornaments? It takes time." Of course, it takes time, but by the time we have library, just like Lego pieces.
Yes.
We're starting to exchanging the models and we keep improving it, so it's become faster and faster. That's how we work with the mostly in this environment.
Gotcha. Well, of course, I think myself and a lot of other people are begging to know if this project is going to be expanded upon at any time. And you've got a character, you set it up nicely. You've got a character who's wearing a bow and arrow, and he walks his way up into a temple, and he clearly stole some dagger that perhaps he shouldn't have been stealing. It's and he will be armed. So, is there going to be a game in the future here?
Not for today, but I'm really, really glad that you guys have that kind of impression that this is actually a real game, because, well, that means the experiment is kind of succeed. Even that I'm not intending to like fooling you guys, so I'm gonna release this instinct. Of course not, but I just want to make we just want to make a good impression that, oh, it's look like a real game. So maybe like in the future, of course, we need more experience in order to get like in order to make a real game as an independent developer. It's not the time for now.
Yeah,
but for sure, one day, we never knows. We all never knows where we're going.
That's true. Well, I mean, I imagine if you picked up a few extra team members, folks that were, could fill out the different areas that you guys, don't know about, various levels of programming, I imagine, you could make a heck of a game. You've already got most of the assets, it looks like, programmed, at least for the first level or two.
Just to clarify, Warrior Pilgrimage is obviously finished. That one is finished product. Feel free to give like feedback, critics of bad frame rates, or there's some bugs here and there, because I call it finished. It's good time to have like critics. Like if there's gonna be a new different continuation, probably it's gonna be made from scratch. So it's
gotcha.
And it's gonna of course it's gonna be has to be better than
right. All right. Well, you heard it here first, folks. If there's going to be a Warriors Pilgrimage game, it's going to be right. Well, that's good to hear, though. Well, let's talk a little bit about some other games. Just briefly, only because when I saw this game, I'd already mentioned Tomb Raider. It felt a lot like Tomb Raider, except with better graphics, quite honestly. And which is already a game that has considerably good graphics. But when you guys played games, did you grow up playing either like Prince of Persia or Tomb Raider? Because those were two of the games I thought of immediately. And if not, what did you grow up playing is also an equally valid question.
Audrey first?
I played Tomb Raider, the first one, PS1.
Nice. It's a good one.
And then, yeah, most of the games I play, like Crash Bandicoot, those kind of stuff, and what else? I can't remember.
Do you play games today still?
Yes, I do play games, but then most of the time I prefer spending more time practicing my own portfolios and my own skills. So I do play games. I play a lot of like League of Legends, like Metal Gear Solid. I didn't even finish the game, but but
there it is. Good.
Yeah, I don't have the time to actually play games. Like I said, I prefer to spend most of my time learning other programs, new tools, to improve myself even more. So,
well, that makes sense. I mean, you're in one of the most important parts of your career right now, where you're really getting it. So yeah, it's good.
But I love games too. I really love games. Just that I don't have the time to fully finish a game. Normally I just like play halfway and then I stop. Like,
hey, that's okay. I'm guilty all the time, and I work for a gaming web, so what can I say? Yeah. How about you, Arif? Do you play anything currently? And growing up,
I used to play a lot of games, like for every game 40 hours, like RPG games. I'm a big fan of RPG games like Final Fantasy, and yeah. And once I get older and I get a full-time job eventually in games, I don't have much time as much, but I still like to play games. But so most of the games I play when I get back from work, usually it's the games that I can enjoy for myself, which is single person person game, like such as Uncharted. Of course, I still play. I like really grumpy main character, like I don't know, like Max Payne. That's my favorite
Max
games.
Payne's
Yeah,
game.
Max
Nice.
Payne, Hitman Absolution.
Gotcha. Yeah, so you like very
Yes,
serious main
I,
characters.
I like main character that has serious
So
main
did you
character.
probably like Doom then, the new Doom?
Oh,
I
I
haven't
see.
played. I would like to play Uncharted, of course. It's, no doubt about it. I mean, Top Gear. Yeah, but if somehow I play. Of course, I play some multiplayer as well. Battlefield. I've been playing Battlefield since the early Battlefield and
Mhm. Yeah, I was a bigger fan
GTA.
of the earlier ones too.
Yeah, I know I'm giving a lot of mentions about like game with a lot of balance, GTA Battlefield.
Oh, that's cool though.
Oh,
That's
my,
what I'm curious about.
that's my type of games. Like I like grumpy and then actions and adventure.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, so it sounds like you're both though very avid gamers. And so you're finishing. It's you've created this demo, Warriors Pilgrimage, which you say is done. You're not going to work on it anymore. And if you build another game, you're going to start fresh. So that sounds like then maybe you're trying to break out into the gaming industry. Not even maybe. I mean, that is where you're headed. Do you want to work for a larger company, like another developer, or are you guys interested in teaming up and starting a new project and starting your own development company, or what do you think is going to happen next?
Well,
For
I
now,
think
it's of
maybe
course
you
getting
just
back.
So the answer is I don't know. It sounds like.
Well, we don't know, but for now we trying to of course gaining industry experience first, working for other people. We in my opinion, I don't have that much confidence yet. Of course, and of course need that funding.
Well, I
I mean,
understand. It's definitely when you're at the beginning. It's hard to know. Who's going to like you and who's not. I can definitely understand that. I would. I think that you guys just what you've accomplished here, and on your own, just the two of you in about 8 months is very impressive. And I would hope that even if you did end up going to work for larger companies, that you would still do some side projects because this would.
that's definitely like we will try to look into it to do our own side projects, and maybe who knows, one day we could team up again and make a game.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, was like if you need some suggestions, always remember my like someone said to me like don't 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 uh, don't get into your comfort zone. Always improve. Even that you already work in a company, like I realized that some I even happened to me also. I get into my comfort zone and I didn't produce anything. So it's actually it's good idea to always improve yourself. Who knows? You
That's
never
good
know
advice.
what's going on to you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And and then of course that begs the question: what game would you make if you guys could make another game? What game would that be? I bet there's two answers here. So Audrey, I'll start with you on that one. If you could just have Arif work for you,
I
what would you
think we
make?
were discussing that day, like we could make like some ridiculous, maybe some silly games. I don't know. That is both entertaining and fun and weird at the same time.
Something like out there, maybe like Psychonauts or
Yeah, maybe like that. But we
No,
were just like jokingly discussing like, okay, maybe we will make like what, a girlfriend simulator game.
There you go. There you go. You should just make it with really high quality graphics.
Yeah. But we just jokingly that.
I want to see Unreal Engine 4 dating simulator. That's really the right way to use the tools, guys.
that would be cool.
You can sign me up as voice. I mean, the most expensive part of those games is usually voice acting, right? So you can sign me up. I'll be voice acting. And what about you, Arif? What would you make?
Well, if I'm starting completely fresh, I will start, of course, something small but expandable. That's at least what I can say. So, because I'm really addicted to like to the narrative. That's my I think I'm.
So you would probably make like a single player narrative based game.
It doesn't have to be a single player or anything. I mean, just narrative is play a big part. The concept, like doesn't matter. World of Warcraft is MMO, but has strong narrative.
Right. I see. Yep, that's true.
So I think it's a building IP is the most important part is rather than just doing experiment. That's why I treat Warrior Pilgrimage as probably you don't know there's no story, there's nothing, but you don't know the production behind it. Actually, I'm trying to treat it as a like huge narrative. So what you see in the output in Warrior Pilgrimage actually like small percentage of actually I wrote and I concept behind behind the doors, of course. So it's only small percentage because making concept and start writing is actually easier and faster than actually making final product, of course.
Gotcha. Yeah, no. I definitely can remember as a kid having some grand ideas about wanting to make some game. Sometimes it was even a board game, and it would have huge stories, and it would go on forever. And then, of course, I'd make like this much of it.
That's okay. That's pretty much the point. It's like don't well when people don't make a big story. It's not gonna be that's wrong actually. I'd rather have infinite ideas and make a production based on it rather than have limited ideas and then trying to produce something that I don't like it. And I wait, I don't have reference. But if you have like a lot of ideas and you write it and you want to produce something like models or making art, you just take the idea from what that you have already wrote. So that's pretty much easier than having to stop every time you produce something.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. And, I imagine that, coming up with the ideas and creating an imaginative world is really fun and entertaining. And that if you just limited your ideas, you'd be taking a lot of that fun out of it for yourself, a lot of the enjoyment. Because it's not often that people get a chance to take a world that they've imagined and actually put it into existence, which is, one of the great things about video games, one of the reasons why we all play them, because they take us to other worlds. So I can sympathize with that, and I hope that's why I say when I see this demo, it makes me want to know more. I want to see the rest of your vision. I want to see where your imagination has gone.
Yeah, there's a joke like.
Just to be clear, I also want wall running. I want there to be bow and arrow mechanics. I want it to be dodging.
Yeah, yeah. There's supposed to be like a lot of ideas. Like, let's make there's supposed to be a monster when you take a sword.
Yeah, we were thinking
of
about.
Course not.
Well, I half expected there to be like an Indiana Jones scene with a big ball just going to land, in front of me and chase me out of the cave. But that's
of course, there's always a time and constraint, and so we have to cut a lot of ideas and content to make it fit within like 6 and 7 months. Otherwise, we're not going to finish the game.
I understand. Well, I mean, and it seems like you guys achieved what you set out to do, which is you set out to prove to the world that you could make high quality demo using industry professional tools, and you explained how you did it. And I really do hope that it works out for you guys. I think a studio would be crazy not to pluck you up in a moment. I know you guys probably both already work on it a bit, but I hope you get to actually work on a really cool project, something larger. Who knows? Maybe the next Battlefield. You never know. But hopefully something better than that, actually. But yeah, I really do wish the both of you the best of luck. Yeah, we're about coming up on time, so I'm just going to take a quick moment to plug OPNoobs for half a second. So we're OPNoobs.com. We're basically a volunteer-only army. We do everything out of the love for games. We do developer talks like this one every week. Sometimes we do 2 or 3. Every Tuesday night at 9:30 Eastern, we do the Should We Cover It show, which is hosted live on Twitch by Steven Staniszewski. That's where we actually talk about every game that's come out in PC gaming that week, or at least the ones that are worthy. And we review their trailers, and we just have generally a good time. And if you could also look below you in Twitch, you'll see a link to our Patreon. Just throw us a little money if you could. We could always use it. Like I said, we're a volunteer-only army. Everything we do costs us our own money. So please consider a donation if you could. And today we have had with us Audrey Wong and Arif Pribadi. I hope I got it right. I'm sorry. I'm doing it from memory. And these two have been working on Warriors Pilgrimage, which is a demo you can actually go and download yourself. I'm going to drop that link again in chat. It's a beautiful demo. It really actually will flex your graphics card. I was pushing out like just a little over 60 frames per second, I think at 1440p. But it still ran buttery smooth. It looked great. Just gonna find that link. Here we are, Arif Creations. Go ahead and download it now. It looks beautiful. And thank you so much, Audrey and Arif, for being here with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Anytime. And if you do both end up working on another game that you'd actually like to put out as a game, not just a technical demo, let us know. We'd love to have you back and talk about it.
Sure. No problem.
All right. Well, thank you all again for being with us. And Stylomax, take us out.